The eagles always fly alone. There are so many deep and internal truths that we have not been told by the society about inner happiness, inner peace, and what it means to truly live a life with full of enjoyment. By the way, the enjoyment in life can only be found inwards. You will never find it outwards. Even if you get a girl, she really likes you or whatever, you'll realize soon enough that certain values and things does not align between you and her, because every human being is meant to live freedom with true self of themselves, and everybody have their own view towards life, the way they see things, the way they experience things. You might go to a movie, two different person can have same different experience. Once they come out of a movie, one person says it was amazing and the other person says this is one of the horrible movies I've ever seen. Same movie, two completely different experience for two completely different person. As we're talking about the inner happiness and how to actually feel happy within yourself, and you kind of have to figure out how to be happy with yourself, because this is you. There will be a time, God forbid, everybody is going to die in your life, and these outside circumstances should not affect you, because if it does, then you die a million times before you're actually dead. So I often feel like, we are in a society where it's really hard to keep your cool all the time and be within yourself and figure things yourself by yourself, and it is hard. It needs to be trained. you know if you don't control your thought, if you don't train it, the life will blow you from left to right and left to right, and you will never find happiness. That's why I said is that the inner happiness is only found within yourself. You have to strategically think. I've seen, especially in the big cities like Toronto, Vancouver, people are constantly chasing the next high and next high. Are they actually happy? The question you have to ask yourself, are they actually happy? They're chasing this happiness, but does this happiness make them happy? Temporary, for sure. Long term, everything has an equal and opposite inverse. This is the Newton's third law, and you'll see it pretty much everywhere in life. There is no dark without sun. There is no joy without pain. Everything has an equal and opposite force. These people in the cities, they're just chasing the next high and next high, and it leaves them with more emptiness, causing the divorce rates to go up, having no real meaning. And even if you take care of a girl for a long time, she's ready to leave, jump onto the next guy at any time. I go to this cafe, when I try to make sure that I look good and all, and I go to these cafes, and you know like you can feel as soon as you walk into the room. I'm pretty tall. As soon as you walk into the room, everybody gets quiet. you know and everybody gets quiet, and especially the guys get quiet, and the girls, they start talking about, hey, I have this guy, he works in Air Force, or like they're constantly letting me know that I have a better guys. That just tells you that if she can do this in front of another man, she can do this with the man she's with at any time, and she would not think twice. These omens have a way to, you know, constantly make you feel worthless, and especially the city girls. 90% of the city girls, except for French girls, because they're different, you know. But if you know what I mean. But most American and English culture, you can see it. You know, they're ready to jump on somebody else's life. So you have to think that, okay, I'm using my energy to chase this girl. I never say you chase girls, because, you know, if you chase girls, they were just saying, you know, if you go closer to the butterfly flies away in German. It also says, if you build a beautiful garden, like, just if you are able to actually learn how to be happy within yourself, you never even have to chase girl. That's not even a question. The girls will chase you because they want to have this beautiful life you have, the garden you have, what you can provide. And trust me, all the girls wants to have experience. And if you're the guy with all the money and stuff, they will come. But you should not want them, because if they're for the money and all that, then, you know, that just gives you a red signals in the first place. And you'll see, when you have the money, you live in the better experience. When I got so many money, I've experienced it. You know, I was living in the best hotels in Vancouver and all the places. They just come, like, I don't know, God knows where from, but they just appears. And I realize, and that they'll have your experience, and when you finish your experience, they'll jump into somebody who have the next experience. It's just they're chasing constant high. And if you see, on the media and all the survey and stuff, women are more likely to have this depression and anxiety. Yes, because they're constantly chasing the next high. You know, there are so many girls getting away with the black guys, and trying to, you know, prove themselves that, oh, I have this. I see sometimes, usually the girls, white girls with the black guys on the street, you'll you'll look at them, and you'll see that they're just constantly feeling pride of making others small, all the white guys smalls and stuff. These are lots of psychological distraction, which, by the way, when you have your inner peace, you know how to control your thoughts, how to control your emotions and reactions to it. By the way, everybody feels emotions, but you can choose to not to react. Whatever you let into your mind will grow. The mind is a fortune, protected at any cost. There are so many places I have been. There was one places I went to do jiu-jitsu, and the guys were constantly, there was one or two girls, and all the guys were chasing them and stuff. And the guys were cocky. They were ready to fight other guys to get this girl. I said, this is a complete shit show. I'm not gonna join this game. Man, life is too short to worry about these things. Conqueror like Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, they're my role models. Alexander the Great they had a different purpose in life. Like, I'm not gonna be worrying about this little pussy kind of, like girls. Come on, like, what happens to the man today? Man was supposed to conquer places, have bigger purpose in life. You know, just to tell you a little bit about purpose, there's two different things. The purpose and passion. Passion, most of the time, if we start, we feel the fire, like to do something. People try to hype you up, or you gotta do business, you gotta get money, you gotta do this. That's called hype, and that's when your emotion gets triggered. And when you have this emotional states, remember, emotion can be changed. That's why you find yourself doing one thing, 2 days later you don't do it anymore, because the passion disappears. And omens are always passionate. That's why their emotion changes every second. Even after doing all the money and all the taking care, they would leave you at any time. And they wouldn't even think about it, because they will get much more attention from other guy at any time. Life of man is always hard, but it's not hard if you know how to control yourself, how to build yourself, and it must be trained. Your thoughts, your attitudes, and not giving attention, because you have to know that, if she's ready to live, then why am I gonna chase this girl? She's ready to live, like, why am I gonna, like, there is a saying that if you're not prepared to walk away, you don't even have a battle. You don't even have any win or lose. You already lost. If you're not prepared to walk away, you have already lost. It's hard, but I would tell you, read Alexander the Great, Dostoevsky, the great people, the books that has been banned, because you'll find your power. There are more to life than what you see, and the society has got you in a way that a lot of people are just reacting. Like, I see tall guys, like, putting themselves onto the shoes of the girls. I was like, bro, like, you're a tall, handsome, good looking guy, like, you should have self-respect. But I cannot say it to them, because like it's not going to change anything. They have been programmed in a way that they can. Most men are in the prisons, they cannot see and feel and touch. That's why when you read these books, you'll see yourself from a higher up. They were saying that most of the prisoners don't even know that they're in the prisons, and there are only a few people that have walked so far to see the prison wall, like Alexander the Great, Dostoevsky. Very few people, and most certainly not 99% of the people. I hope this video helps you, and I'm just doing this because I also need to remind myself. I also have to program myself outside of this social programming. If you don't program yourself, this society will trust me, and they have. As we speak, you have been programmed every single day from the social media, and you think it's cool because they also made it cool that you cannot see and you cannot feel and you cannot understand, and you wonder why you're not happy. I hope you find the way, and you will if you trust it.